Yeah, we are live now.
Yeah.
So, good evening, esteemed faculty members and all the delegates. Thank you for joining. This is Sahiti on behalf of Shield Connect, welcoming you all for today's webinar. And today we are back with our series MedMocha Meetup Season 1, Session 20. And today's topic is Sex Has No Expiry Date. So, let me introduce the organizer of this webinar, Dr. Ritu Santwani, ma'am. Ma'am has done MBBS, MD, FSCOG, FIAOG, AMSCOG, ART in Singapore. Ma'am is consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, infertility specialist, founder and CEO of 360 Degrees Healthcare Studio. Ma'am is also a part of NUHS Singapore, co-founder of MAAM and board member of SWWC. Ma'am is the top 50 influential doctors on social media. So I welcome you, ma'am, and I hand over the session to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Sahiti, and thank you, Shield Pharma, for providing the platform for this program from last so many years. A very, very warm welcome to all of my dear friends who have joined all across the geography. And a very warm welcome to our today's esteemed faculty, Dr. Gajanan Bhatt. First of all, I want to say thank you, Dr. Bhatt, for accepting the invitation in such a short notice. So, friends, as we all are aware, that today we are going to discuss something about the related to the sexual medicine. So, today's topic is also very unique that has no expiry date. We are seeing in our OPD also so many patients are coming of the different age group and having a different kind of the questions. So, without wasting time, I will request Sahiti, will you please introduce our today's esteemed speaker?
Yes, ma'am. So it's my privilege to introduce the speaker of this webinar, Dr. Gajanan Bhatt. Sir has done MS in General Surgery, MCH in Neurology, and International Diploma in Reproductive Health Management from University of Groningen, the Netherlands. So sir has the experience of 27 and 13 years of experience in neurology and sexology. Sir is a member of Committee of Ejaculatory Dysfunction in Men for 5th International Consultation on Sexual Medicine. Sir has been member in various societies, and Sir has 26 original research publications in international peer-reviewed journals. Sir has won International Society for Sexual Medicine Award for Best Research in Female Sexual Dysfunction category in 2021. And Sir has won first ever person in the world to clock time to orgasm in females and first ever person in the world to devise validated instrument to measure ejaculatory control in males. So I welcome you, sir, and I hand over the session to you.
Warm welcome, Dr. Bhatt. The dais is all yours. Post your talk, we will take some questions.
Thank you. Now, I am sharing the screen now.
Yes. I think your internet connection is little unstable.
Can you see now?
No, we can't see.
Okay. What is happening? Is it okay now? Can you see?
No, sir, we cannot see the slide, sir.
What is happening is stuck actually. Right. Now? Can you see now?
No, sir. Please click on share again, sir.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Share and
Now can you see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now
yes, perfect. Yeah.
Thank you. So at the outset, let me thank Rituji. Actually, what has happened is, I think as Ritu's madam remembers, we were probably known to each other. We would not have recognized, despite being known to each other for a long time. And suddenly, I had a popped up question in LinkedIn regarding Rituji, and I was really, 360-degree healthcare was something which actually attracted. So suddenly, what is so 360 there? And I just searched, and a lot of information came out. Dr. Ritu madam, and madam, thank you very much for inviting me to a talk. Actually, this particular talk, something, what I say is, basically sex has no expiry date, without being told also. People might have experienced it over time, over years, over centuries, but talking to beautiful, lovely audience at 9 p.m., that also on sexuality, is a pleasure in itself. I should call it an orgasm in itself, right? So, to be frank, it was Susan Mayer who wrote the Amazon bestseller, Does Sex Have an Expiry Date? As you can see here on the slide here, this was aimed at women. And let us try to find answers in the next few slides. Now, I have no conflict of interest. I should acknowledge Dr. Deepak Jumani. Probably you know him. He's from Mumbai.
Yes, yes.
And he's the one who spoke on the same subject.
Yes.
And I am inspired by his talk, to be frank. And I should acknowledge that few of his slides are taken here also. Thank you, sir. So it is my duty to say thank you very much, sir. It was your knowledge. Of course, his slides and his presentation was full of general medicine, backups. But I did not do it because I'm a urologist. So I should see sex from the urologist point of view and also present it to the world. What is my viewpoint? If I say what Deepak sir says, then there is no difference between Deepak sir's presentation and my presentation, and people start judging which is better. I don't want this. I want people to see both and learn both. If at all there is anything which has to be given as a feedback, please give it back to us. Thank you. We'll go ahead now. This is the sound. All of us, probably all of us know, and all of us heard it in Doordarshan when Mahabharat was telecasted. You remember this? And it was again telecasted during COVID period.
Yes.
Right? This actually is the conch from Sri Krishna, right? When he actually gave his by mouth Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. This was the sound that was sounded, and the Gita says, Balam Bhalavatam Chaham Kama Raga Vivarjitam Dharma Viruddha Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bharatarshabha. What does it mean? Means I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire and sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles. Why I have put it in as a first slide of my presentation is because, fortunately or unfortunately, we are the country where Vatsayana's Kama Sutra was written. We are the country where the temple erotica was there. You remember, there are many temples where you find Kama Sutra is sculpted, right? Despite that, now we find it very difficult to even discuss something about sex, even if it is health-wise. So we always say, this is against Sanatana Dharma, this is against our principle, this is not good, this is taboo, this is immoral. Array, nothing is immoral. Bhagavan himself has said what is to be done in day-to-day life and in your day-to-day kartavya or duty. And that's why I quoted Bhagavad Gita. Right? So, dear friends, sexual energy is the primal and creative energy of the universe. It expresses itself as the biological creativity. Probably no other energy in the universe expresses itself as biological creativity. In humans, sexual energy can be creative at all levels. There is not even a single level you can say. At physical level, yes. At emotional level, yes. At spiritual level, there also it can express itself as a creative energy. In any situation where we feel attraction, arousal, awakening, alertness, passion, interest, inspiration, excitement, creativity, enthusiasm. In all these situations, think about it. In all these situations, sexual energy is at work. Don't forget it. Whenever we feel these states of awareness, we must put our attention on the energy that we are experiencing, nourishing it with our attention, experiencing it with joy, and keeping it alive in our awareness as long as we are alive. Hence the state. Sex has no expiry date. Friends, these are the famous circles of sexuality. Unfortunately, we only see this part. That is, we are duty bound to practice sex for procreation. If you think only that, unfortunately, you will think only about penetrative sexual intercourse, and sex is not only penetrative sexual intercourse, my dear friends, because there are many good points about circle of sexuality. Of course, there are many things, everything has got a good and bad side of it. And for sexuality, there are some things which touch your heart, such as sexualization, where knowingly or unknowingly you may flirt with somebody, right? Sensuality, where you fantasize something beautiful, something sensitive, something sensual, something romantic, and that is sensuality. And next, what is called as intimacy. You start caring, you start sharing, you start loving, you start liking, you start risk taking for only one person, towards only one person. Of course, everything based on your gender roles and orientation. This all together form what is called as sexuality. Hence, before we move further, please understand one thing. Sex and sexuality is not mere penetrative sexual intercourse. This you have to understand before we move further, right? So, there are different stages in life. How sexuality changes in all these stages, right? First is adolescence. I think those who have heard Deepak Jumani sir would have remembered this slide. This is from his slide. I call this tempting teens, ages from 15 to 20, right? At the age of 18, testosterone is at peak in males, and in females, it slowly starts increasing, right? It starts to rise. So what happens is, whatever you see appear beautiful, rosy. So probably many of you who are viewing this presentation might relive what has happened in your past. Do you remember that there was a period when you have had first love at first sight? Yes, this is the period. That is why we call it as Pehla Nasha. This is the period of heights of testosterone in men and raising testosterone in women, right? Next is what is called as, I call this as terrific 20s. Here what happens is, testosterone has reached peak in men. In women, it is still continues to rise, right? So, with the highest testosterone in them, men start always thinking, डर के आगे जीत है. This is the problem. So, they think डर के आगे जीत है and ये दिल मांगे more. It is not a period of platonic love. They always want to do something bigger than that. They want to show that they are heroes. Heroism in them comes out, right? So that's why I call this as Dhoom Machale. And this is the period where you find most of the sexual mishaps that occur. And many people who unknowingly end up in some or the other way of sexual relationship with a partner, people may end up, if it is with mutual trust and understanding, then people may end up in gynecology, OPD, gynecology procedure room for D&C, or if it is with the criminal intent, they will end up in police station. This is a period, right? So next comes what is called as, I call this troubling 30s. This is between 30 and 40s. The testosterone slowly but surely has become unstable, as Ritu So madam said there is an unstable connection in your internet. Just like that, testosterone it remains unstable in males. This unstable testosterone, in the sense it is at a peak, but is not stable. So with the changes in testosterone level, there is a mood off or mood on. Whenever there is on and off switch, when the person is on, he is very much, romantic, he wants sex, he's demanding, his desire is more, he's fully active, etc., etc. When it is off switch, there is no more, nothing. That's why we call it as kabhi kushi, kabhi gham. Next come what is called as exploring 40s. This is between 40 and 50, right? Fortunately or unfortunately, men have diminishing sex hormone, that is testosterone. The diminishing rate is fast in men, with almost 1% per year decline in testosterone level, right? But women still have the rising testosterone. They have almost reached the peak. So with lesser interest from the male partner towards the women, there is always a chance that, monotony appears boring. Always the garden on the other side appears more greener than the pasture that is within. So that is why with the social media and with so many apps in and around us, there are more Instagram reels, there is more Facebook accounts, there is more Facebook chats, there is more hookups, there is more casual meetings, there is more solitary trips, there is more vacations without each other partner knowing. So I call this period, this is done as if, kal ho na ho. Knowingly or unknowingly, both men and women do. That's why this is called naughty at 40, right? Now coming to the next period. This I call failing 50s. Why failing 50s? In women, with a decrease in testosterone, erectile dysfunction develops. That's why we call Pappu can't dance sala, right? Erectile dysfunction develops, and in men, erectile dysfunction develops. In women, slowly menopause sets in. With the menopause, what happens is there is dry vagina, lack of lubrication, decreased arousal, menopausal syndrome, pain during intercourse, not able to reach orgasm, and combined with the partner's erectile dysfunction, satisfaction remains low, and you start using more nutraceuticals, you start getting addicted to more and more other things to maintain your what is called a sex drive. This is the period failing 50s, that is between 50 and 60. Next period is what is called as seeming 60s. So this is the time when you have understood that you need more efforts to maintain sexual practice. And you will understand that it's not that easy to do the same thing which you were doing during your 20s and 30s, right? But you'll find some or the other way to keep the sex busy, even without penetration. And you just try to show off. Buddha hoga tera baap. So I call this as seeming 60s, right? Next comes what is called as, this is 70 to 80. This is the period what I call is soothing 70s. You have crossed that age where you started show off, everything is okay. This is the age you join with your fellow, men or women of the same age. You go to society meeting, you get together in a small place and chat, talk about your past experiences, and still continue to, the fantasies or everything will be discussed in the same group, and continue to keep the sexual interest alive. So that's why I call this period as picture abhi baki hai. Next is the period of 80 to 90. I call this as enlightening 80s. This is the period where the bond of intimacy gets better. Hello, can you hear? Is there any problem? Hello? One starts living in the memoirs of the past. So this intimacy and this attraction towards each other keeps your life more lively. You discuss your old escapades, you discuss your old romantic stories. That's why I call this Kabhi Kabhi Mere Dil Mein. Next is what is called as nervous 90s. Nervous 90s is that period. Not everybody reaches there, but whoever reaches there should understand one thing. It is a period of life where there is a chance of onset of Alzheimer's. So poor memory gives glimpses of youth once in a blue moon, right? So जिंदगी का सफर तो ऐसा रहा ना, जिंदगी के सफर में I remember Ayan Rizvi when he said, जिंदगी के सफर में मैंने अब तक तो यही जाना है, ख्वाहिशों का हाथ अक्सर मजबूरियों ने थामा है. True. This is the period wherein you realize, you stand and watch what has happened in the past. Whatever has happened in the past, which were so fruitful to me, which was, in the only available life for us, what we have done from our adolescence till now, and what we have experienced. And at this point of time, you will understand that sex is definitely not mere intercourse. There is more to it than that. And if you are lucky, you can reach what is called a centenary and sing. 100 साल पहले मुझे तुमसे प्यार था, मुझे तुमसे प्यार था, आज भी है और कल भी है. The beautiful song, if you are still alive at 100. Right? Now let us discuss what are the benefits of sex. Sex is known to be excellent stress relief. When you are stressed, sex may be the last thing in your mind. But if you can get the mood to have sex, then sex is the greatest reliever of all stress. The real sex act, that is real sex act, please understand, you just don't say just a mere penetrative sex. Real sex act floods the brain with feel-good chemicals and suppresses the only catecholamine which increases, cortisol, which increases the stress level. So there is an increase in dopamine, which impacts the brain's pressure and reward centers positively. There is an increase in endorphin, which decreases the pain and the stress, and oxytocin, what is also called as cuddling hormone, love hormone. All of them, they are released at higher levels with increased orgasm, and you will come out of the stress as if you have never had it. So stress is best relieved by sex, which ends up in orgasm. Coming to next, what is called as sex is an excellent mood booster. Why? A study of 30,000 American men and women between 1989 to 2012. Note, 30,000 American men and women between 1989 to 2012 found that having sex at least once a week, please note, having sex at least once a week in a committed relationship. I underline again, having sex at least once a week, at least in a committed relationship, was enough to boost your mood. But it is more than quite an act that brings these benefits. Studies of older adults found that just holding hands, hugging, kissing, and even mutual stroking also contribute to a greater quality of life. But the boost doesn't appear to work for casual hookups and relationships. Please understand. That's why I'm repeatedly telling you. This mood boosting effect of sex is possible in a long-term committed relationship, at least once a week. This acts as a mood booster. Now, prolactin is released following reaching orgasm in sex. This causes excellent relaxation. Along with prolactin, there is what is release of oxytocin, endorphins. They induce sleep. So post reaching orgasm, you always feel that you are sleepy. I need to sleep off. So suddenly the person goes to sleep. There is always a complaint in OPDs. Those who are doctors, they would have recognized, they would have seen many a times. People always say, my partner immediately sleeps off after sex. There is nothing called what is called as, just like the activity what we called foreplay, there is what is called as afterplay. My partner doesn't do anything after sex, he just sleeps off. This is true because there is an increase in prolactin, there is an increase in endorphin, there is an increase in oxytocin. And fortunately or unfortunately, men often reach orgasm easily. There are very few who do not reach orgasm. Whereas women reach orgasm, only 15% of the women reach orgasm in 15% of the sexual activities. Now, what should other women who do not reach orgasm, for example, 85% of them who do not reach orgasm in 85% of the sexual intercourses, they do not go to sleep. So that's why one partner cannot sleep where the other partner goes into deep sleep. Ultimately, the problem arises there. So that's why one should know the art of sex and sexuality. Then both can reach orgasm. Please understand one thing. Prolactin that is released in natural orgasm in sexual activity is 400 times higher than when one reaches orgasm following masturbation. So that is why reaching orgasm naturally is far better than having masturbation. But masturbation can help you to reach orgasm even during a penetrative sexual intercourse when it is done mutually, not alone, right? Now, there was one more research. This research was done at Pennsylvania's Wilkes University, where US college students were, their sexual activity, frequency of sexual activity and IgA levels were compared. The students who had at least once or twice a week sex and on committed relationship had 30% higher level of immunoglobulin A levels compared to those students who never had sex. So this is a study result. So persons who have committed relationship and have regularly sex at least once or twice a week are known to have better immunity compared to those who never have sex or those who have sex very, very less frequently. So that's why I say, if you want immunity booster, there is no better medicine than sex. Then what is called as, it is said that it decreases the risk of prostate cancer. Yes. In 2004, there was a study in a British medical journal which studied the sex life of over 50,000 American men between the ages of 40 and 75. What was the result? People and the men who have had 21 or more ejaculations, please note, 21 or more ejaculation in a month. So 21 or more ejaculation in a month were less likely to have prostate cancer than men who have 7 or lesser ejaculation in a month. So this is confirmed by another study in 2016, which was a follow-up study. So that definitely risk of prostate cancer is reduced if the frequency of sex is increased. There is always a question. This increase in sexual activity, wouldn't it increase the size of the benign prostate? The question is still unanswered. So I can't answer this question because there are no studies which can say yes or no to this. But however, try avoiding prostate cancer by having more frequent sex. There is nothing better because enjoying sex at the same time avoiding cancer. It's a better pill, isn't it? Now going to next. A week or 45% less likely. Can you hear me? Yeah, 45% less likely to have heart disease than men who have sex only once a month or less. So it is easy for men. You can say that lesser heart attacks, best thing is instead of these drugs which reduce cholesterol and other things, better is to perform more sexual activity, right? And even for women, a 2016 study found that women who said they had frequent, extremely satisfying sex had a lower risk of hypertension, a common precursor to heart disease. So, both men and women are benefited with increased frequency of sexual activities. Right? Now, with increased sexual into old age, protects and even improves your brain's executive functioning and recall. Please understand, there is an increase in Alzheimer's disease. There is an increase in cognition diseases as the age advances. With the aging population, we are going to see more and more number of these things. But there is a better way to prevent it. How? Keep your sexual life active even in old age. That protects you. It even improves you, your brain's executive and functioning as well as recall. Analyzing the data from English longitudinal study of aging, British researchers found that sexually active men and women between the ages of 50 and 89, please note, had increased cognitive function as measured by sequencing and word recall. So, if you want to prevent cognition, decrease in cognition as the age advances, be active sexually. Please note, sexual active doesn't mean that you need to perform penetrative sex again and again, because sex is even kissing, sex is even hugging, sex is even stroking, sex is even mutual admiration, sex is even mutual inspiration, sex is even mutual, just giving time to each other. So these things one should remember, right? As I told you earlier, a 2013 survey of 1,000 Germans, they studied this beautiful study where they studied the level of headache in those who suffer from cluster headaches as well as migraine. There was a 30% reduction or total absence, total relief of pain in cluster headaches, and 60% reduction, or 30% of them have had total relief or partial relief of pain in cluster headaches, and 60% of those people who suffered from migraine had a partial or total relief from headache if they had sexual activity during the pain episode. But difficult to understand is how to have sex you have headache. How do you get a mood? Right? But one thing is sure, there is a release of significant amount of endorphins, and they're going to give benefit of pain relief. Now, a study of 20 young healthy couples found that the average burned calorie per sexual intercourse, please understand one thing, this doesn't depend on amount of time that is consumed in sexual intercourse. Every sexual intercourse burns almost 85 calories. Please understand, 85 calories. Each sexual intercourse burns 85 calories. Men burn more, around 100. and women burn around 69 to 70, right? So I say sex is the best exercise. No gym membership needed, but have the mental ability to have increase in mood and keep yourself always busy romantically. Please understand one thing. I am repeatedly reiterating again and again. Long time committed relationships bring more, more benefits to the body than the short time hookups or matching. Now, I should say this, this is one of a very important sentence. Sex is a means of escaping our own self or ego. Tell me one thing in life other than thinking about your own children. This is one thing I should say, because people always think about हमारा बच्चा अच्छा होना चाहिए, हमारा वो अच्छा होना चाहिए, सब ठीक है. लेकिन other than your children, sex is the only one thing where you feel that you are enjoying, your partner should be satisfied more than you should be satisfied. It is the only activity. So sex is a only means of escaping our own self for it. It is means many people's experience of meditation. The trance state that is reached in meditation is almost same as the trance state one reaches in orgasm. It is not for human beings like us, who are doctors, who are day-to-day work, so 24 hours, 365 days. It's very difficult to meditate. But if you can keep your time and reach orgasm during sexual activity, please understand it is the same feeling what you feel when you reach trance in meditation. See, people can meditate, but reaching that trance status is not possible for everybody. That much I should say, right? So, as you age, please reap the benefits of experience, because experience makes you better. Be playful and honest. Expand the meaning of sex. Change your routine. Discuss new ideas and modernize. Please understand this. This I have added as a new slide because what had happened is we conducted a study recently wherein this was presented in International Society Sexual Medicine Conference. We asked, is sexual boredom a reason for female partners not interested in sex in a long-term monogamous relationship? And you know what was the answer? The majority of them said yes, and the answers were typical. See, from switching off the lights of the bedroom to going to have, cleaning up to the washroom. If the activity is same for 20 odd years, then unfortunately, sex doesn't appear that, fun or enjoyment. That's why I say discuss new ideas and modernize. Turn off the devices and talk more. Mobile, computer, work, that, this. Yaar, band kar do ye sab. Talk more. What has happened is, with the onset of this revolution, mobile communication revolution, we have been too far away from each other. Turn off these devices. Both of us will be very much near. I mean to say, partners. Really listen when they come to you with the problem. Just don't make it, as if something has happened. They have come to you. Just don't be cursory. Touch each other in living ways more often. That helps you rather than doing penetrative sexual intercourse. And please understand one thing. The idea is to die young, as late as possible. Dear friends, never allow time to catch you. Not this. Never allow time to catch you, but stay with the time. Because if you do not stay with the time, then it is difficult to tie down. There is a beautiful video which you might have seen. Let us see. Which says in the best possible manner, if you stay with the time, you are the winner. Just see. It is not related to sex.
मैं समय हूं। मेरा जन्म सृष्टि के निर्माण के साथ हुआ था। मैं पिछले युगों में था, इस युग में हूं और आने वाले सभी युगों में रहूंगा। अनंत काल से पृथ्वी पर राज करने की लड़ाई जारी है। लाखों वर्ष पहले संसार में भीम सरद यानी डायनासोर जैसे अद्भुत जीवों का राज था, पर काल चक्र के साथ वो न चल पाए और आखिर उनका अंत हुआ। फिर धीरे धीरे ईश्वर के पुत्र मानव ने धरती को अपने वश में किया और शुरू हुई मुकाबले की एक ऐसी आंधी जिसने सभ्यताओं का उदय और अंत देखा। रोम की शान तो कहीं यूनान की विशाल शक्ति, कभी मुगल सल्तनत बुलंदियों तक पहुंची तो कभी ब्रिटिश साम्राज्य ने अपने ही सूरज को अपनी ही आंखों के सामने डूबते देखा। और मैं इन सारी घटनाओं का साक्षी रहा, क्योंकि मैं समय हूं। पर समय पक्षपात नहीं करता। इन सभी सभ्यताओं, राजवंशों और साम्राज्य उस जीत को कायम रखने के लिए वो मेरे साथ बदले नहीं, और जो समय के साथ बदलते नहीं, समय उन्हें बदल देता है। और आज एक बार फिर समय बदल रहा है। ये बताने से पहले कि आने वाला कल कितना सुनहरा होगा, मैं आपसे 3 जरूरी प्रश्न पूछना चाहता हूं। 1, क्या आप इस करवट लेते युग के साथ खुद को बदलने की हिम्मत रखते हैं? 2, क्या आप हमेशा शिखर पर रहना चाहते हैं? और 3, क्या आप समय के साथ बदलने को तैयार हैं? अगर आपका उत्तर है हाँ, तो जान लीजिए कि कल की सफलता, आज की जीत और आने वाले कल की कामयाबी के पीछे बस एक ही रणनीति है, और वो है परिवर्तन। परिवर्तन पहले सोच में, फिर अमल में। अगर आप मेरे साथ हैं तो यूं समझिए, आज और कल ही होंगे सफल।
See, this is the best video to say that if you always stay with the time, anything and everything is possible to be tied to. So be with the time. If you be with the time, sex has no expiry date. If you think that you will tide over the time and you will perform things which are not for that particular time, unfortunately, friends, sex will expire along with you. So let's say today and tonight, sex has no expiry date. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhatt. A very nice lecture. You have covered almost all the points, and very practically you have covered all the things. Really. So, may I request Sahiti, will you please share the certificate of appreciation?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Bhatt, this is a certificate of appreciation from our side for contributing as a distinguished speaker for today's session. So we are getting lot of appreciations for your talk. Dr. Anurita has joined. She has, yeah, hi Anu, good to see you. Yeah, she, yeah, she has also put the comment that very nice lecture. I'm able to see some of my friends have joined. Yeah. Friends, if any questions, we can take one or two questions.
Ritu madam,
Yes.
probably the one thing is, this is something I should say. See, all of us are doctors. This may not be. I should not say. I should not extend my talk. But one thing I have noticed: India or abroad, people always shun those who come with the sexual complaints. It's good that people like you, there are people who are joined here, at least, listen to something about sex. So they are ready to listen to these. See, most important thing is we should listen to them. We have to lend our ears. Then only that will be solved. So I think that all of those who have joined today here as well as on YouTube would think one thing for sure. Sex has no expiry date. So as long as there is no expiry date, people may not have any questions also. Anyway, I am ready to answer because this topic as such, if I had covered a lot of medical facts, what would have happened? It would have been boring. This I am presenting it, probably this is the 27th time I'm talking the same subject. So I have to alter every time because what happens, this goes on YouTube. I have a talk in Madurai, I have a talk in Mysore, everywhere same thing, right? But people should not say, "Arey yaar, YouTube mein yahi available tha." I should change it now. Okay, right? So thank you very much. Anyway, questions are there. I am ready to answer.
No, I think there are no questions. Only we are seeing some comments. One comment is again we have received from Dr. Vishal Junarkar. One comment is from Dr. Baljit Kaur also, that very nice presentation.
Baljit Kaur. Yeah.
And then from Dr. Vishal, very nice, but the people who discuss sex treated as hypersexual and perverted, especially by the women. So yes, that is totally
Absolutely
correct. Yeah. I can say once I started my YouTube channel at the time of the lockdown, once I posted lot of videos from related to the myths related to sex and all that things. Lot of people from my fraternity also put the comment in big that this is not correct. Why are you clarifying the doubts? This will create more problems. Later on, once my channel got hit up, all those who have put the wrong comments, I already put the first line that my this channel is for the information to rule out all the myths. So after that, now all that persons are constantly picking me. We want to come on your webinar. We want to come, and sorry, we have put the wrong comment. So this is the thing. This is very true, Dr. Vishal. Very correctly you have mentioned. Okay. Now Sarla madam has joined. Yeah, thank you for joining, Dr. Sarla. She is right. Nice presentation. Dr. R.B. Gupta is also writing nice presentation. So we are getting lot of appreciation. Yeah.
Dr. Anurita said, we have to discuss hormone in detail. Agreed. So I think we require another session. See, what had happened is, recently I spoke in IMA regarding one thing, menopause or menopause, menopause or menopause, right? This is a very common talk, majority of the times, menopause or menopause, right? Regarding this, when I spoke, there I focused myself on hormonal imbalances during menopausal and perimenopausal period, and what would have been better. See, it is easier said than it is very difficult to treat. That is for sure, especially female sexual dysfunction. Males are more, they come out openly and speak, but females suffer in silence. I expect that the time will change in days to come. Sushma madam, namaste.
Namaskar. Very good. Very good topic. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Sorry, I joined late, but I think it's a very important topic to be talked, and even through the media, people should know That is a very important topic. In, I think, Switzerland or Holland, it has been declared as a game. No, people are so
Absolutely.
silent about it. And I think we don't need to be silent, because half the sexually transmitted diseases, half the rapes can be saved in case we talk sex very openly. I very strongly feel that.
One thing I want to say, just a week before, I spoke on what is called as sexuality in India from ancient to present, right? In that, this was specifically for Brazil. There is a conference which is going on in Brazil where I am supposed to talk on this, right? This is specifically for Brazil. While when I was reading those for the purpose of, see, it is very difficult to talk on such subject which covers so much, right? So when I read from Harappan civilization to till today, then I noticed that you don't find no other better alternative than sculpting some things on temple walls for non-formal sex education. अभी कौन नहीं जाता पहले? See, during earlier years, temple was the only place where people used to gather. So
Yes.
sex was in only one row, right? So full sexual details were sculpted there. So anybody who had visited would have seen it, and it was difficult from teacher to the disciple. It was difficult. It is very much emotional. You can develop infatuation. You will have a problem talking between father and daughter, mother and son, etc., etc. So you don't find. So our people were very much advanced. Now what has happened is
Very right.
there are many things which came in between, and we are back. Unfortunate.
Very. Go to Bhubaneswar and see the temples. I think people should, before getting married, should go and have a look at it. Because otherwise, many people for many years don't know about the sex and the different positions and different ways to enjoy it.
Absolutely. And people think only penetration. Time. Hardness. Nothing else other than that. That is unfortunate. Yeah.
True. The education should be there. Thank you so much. I joined little late, but good topic.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So with this, we will wind up for today. So friends, so catch you all on next Monday with another important session. Sunday also I'm having one session. We'll post the flyer tomorrow. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Bhatt, for sharing your immense knowledge with all of us. So with this, we will wind up for today. Good night, everyone. And thank you, Sahiti and Sheel Pharma, for providing the platform. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye. Nice sleep. Beautiful sleep. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.